Welcome to all the new Suited for Success families and to all our returning Suited for Success families who have been attached to us. Thank you for always supporting us and being here with us. I truly appreciate you. And so thank you, thank you, thank you. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We will leave the recording for everyone else. So welcome to tonight's Beyond the Yard HBCU launch party. We are excited to have you here. Thank you, thank you, thank you for at least being interested. Even if you haven't already signed up yet, you are at least interested. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. So why you can say, because I know that's why some people are on the fence because they're like, I don't even know this lady. So let me tell you about who I am. I'm Regina Robinson. I'm the CEO and founder of Suited for Success College Planning Services. We've been helping high school families for over 15 years successfully win the game of college admissions. We've helped students gain over $25 million in scholarships and grants, but it didn't even start with all of that. It literally, as you could see, started with this young girl graduating from high school in Asbury Park, New Jersey, graduating from high school at Neptune High School, though I was a Scarlet Flyer, and going on to college to attend at Delaware State University. I got on a bus during my junior year to go visit at college campuses. And when I got back, I said, okay, I want every one of those college campuses to be on my list. But it wasn't until my girlfriend brought a flyer to school and said, we should all go on this tour. And all of us was like, we going. Now, granted, I didn't know how my mom was going to pay for that tour, but I know I was going home to tell her I wanted to go. And like any other parent, she made sure I was able to go on that tour. For me, it was my first glimmer of hope of being able to turn my dreams of going to college into a reality. And so all of these decades later, that's how Suited for Success birthed, that very first bus tour, because I went to Delaware State University for my undergrad degree. However, I did not finish and graduate from Delaware State University. I went there for 2 years. And then as you can see, I graduated from Bowie State University right here to be able, this picture is me coming back home to my alumni and speaking on stage for their entrepreneurship conference a few years ago. And then from there, graduated, of course, from Georgetown University with my master's degree. Went from there to become a teacher at Dr. Henry A. Wise High School, Frederick Douglass High School. And so your girl has been around in the education system to traveling and speaking at colleges. Here you see me, I'm at University of Maryland, Eastern Shore, sharing with the students in the entrepreneurship department there. And here on the far left, you see me recently visiting Harvard University, on their college campus. And so literally Suited for Success is not a logo. It is not a fancy name. It is truly a testament of what, for me, when possibility becomes purpose and purpose becomes a plan. And so literally I was that high school young lady saying I wanted to go to college. I got on that bus and that bus changed my life. And so as a high school educator, what I realized was there were so many other students just like me sitting in my classroom and parents in my parent-teacher conferences saying how they really wanted their student to go to college, but they could not go to college. So, or they did not know how to help their child go to college. And so that's where we came in to make sure their students could go on our college tour and be able to have the opportunity to see what's next. So what you see here is an actual result of all the hard work over every bus ride, over every student has gone through our program. This is what Beyond the Yard looks like. This is me at all, as many students as I can for the 15 plus years that I've been in this industry, attending graduations, supporting my students, being connected to them. This is what Beyond the Yard is all about. It's not just about taking them on a college tour, but it's about making sure they get to the finish line and they have what's next for them. They know what's possible. They know their dream could actually become a reality. That's what it is for us. That's what we're guaranteeing our students to do, and where we're making sure we're pushing them and holding them accountable to doing. Not just myself, because I cannot do it alone. I cannot travel this tour by myself. Of course, I go on the tour in case you want to know if I go with the students. I go on the tour, and our chaperones have been traveling with us for quite some time. Here you see myself, and this is actually my daughter, and we're both alumni of Bowie State University. She's been traveling and doing this tour with me since she was in 8th grade. And now she will be one of the chaperones to help the young women while we are on the tour. This is myself with a couple of the students while I am we're at Norfolk State University in this actual picture. And then this is myself and David, which is one of the chaperones who's the male chaperone who actually is a alumni of the college tour, who is now actually works at Bowie State University, is finishing up at Bowie State University. I always tell students, it's not how you start, but it's how you finish. And so he's successfully navigating through Bowie State University, and he will be our male chaperone with us on the tour as well. Then we have Miss Shyanthia Hembry, who has been with us since the first year of the tour, me and her, riding since the first year. And so she will be with us on the tour also. And so you'll be able to hear more from them. They'll share, they come on, they talk about themselves once you start registering it for the mandatory meeting. We're all there, we're all up close and personal when we get on that. We're sharing about our background. Again, Ashley is my daughter. David, like a son to me, mentee, is attending Bowie and about to graduate. Miss Shai runs Butterfly Works Test Prep Company, and so she's also in education. My daughter is a second grader teacher. She teaches second grade babies English and social studies. And so, yes. And so this particular picture, we are in the lobby of a hotel morning of trying to get ourselves ready so we can move to the next hotel after we finish visiting college campuses. So we're about to board the bus early in the morning. So this is what it looks like when we are in the trenches trying to keep things going throughout the day. So Beyond the Yard isn't just a tour. It truly is a movement where legacy lives, leaders rise, and futures begin. We want to make sure our students are not just equipped to walk on college campuses, but most importantly, they are equipped to make sure that they have the tools for what's next. So we can make sure they have everything they need for college and beyond. So let's go over the college tour agenda. I want to make sure you understand what we do and how it's flow so that you don't have any confusion or any questions about how everything will flow for those 4 days. We're gone 4 days, 3 nights on the college tour. There's one chaperone to every 12 students. Notice that we usually have one male chaperone because we never get usually over 12 males, but you never know. Every year that could change, and if so, we add an additional male. However, we usually don't get as many males as we get females, and so we have to have more female chaperones than anything. We have our tour dates are set in stone. They will not change. It's Monday, March 30th through Thursday, April 2nd. We leave bright and early in the morning. On Monday, we dispel the times at our mandatory meeting, but it is bright and early, so just know that. We have 48 seats available on the bus. We have already sold 14 of those seats. So we have 34 spots left. I have one high school representative on this call tonight whose schools, I guess they have a program at their school, who now is saying they possibly want 15 of those remaining seats. So if they take 15 of those remaining seats, we have less than 15 seats left. And so our tour sells out every year. Every year we have a waiting list. And as much as I would love to take families off the waiting list, we never do. We start the waiting list when we sell out, just in case someone gets sick or can't go, but we've never had anyone come off the waiting list. So parents, please don't delay. If you know you want your students to go after tonight, make sure you jump on board and get them signed up. We depart from Oxon Hill Park and Ride in Oxon Hill, Maryland. We use a luxury motor coach transportation bus company called Adventure Tours. We've been with them since the first bus tour. We've not switched companies. We've been with them every single year. We go on stops for 4 days. The first day we travel only. We don't tour any schools on day one. On day two, we tour Atlanta schools. We go to Clark, Atlanta together as a group. Then we split up and go to Spelman for the girls, Morehouse for the boys. In between time, we all eat lunch together at Clark Atlanta University's campus. So we go in the cafeteria with the Clark Atlanta students. So it's a really fun experience for the kids to be able to eat with the other students that actually go to the school. Day three, well, after we leave Atlanta schools, we get on the road and we travel to North Carolina. We check in our hotel that night. Next morning, we rise and shine. We go to North Carolina A&T Aggie Pride, and then we go to North Carolina Central Eagle Pride. In between time, the students eat lunch between us traveling from A&T over to Central. So they get box lunches on the bus and they eat while we're commuting over. They always pick their lunch options ahead of time. We send all of that information out and they choose what they want for lunch from the sandwich options that they give us. Once we finish at Central, we get back on the bus. We travel to Virginia. We check into our hotel. Directly across the street from our hotel, there's a restaurant. That's where we go and we eat dinner. I'll go back over dinner for the different nights. We get up that next morning. We go to Norfolk State University, behold the green and gold. Then we go to Hampton. Some people say the real HU. I don't really know. I ain't in the HU category, so I can't fight with y'all on that. And then we go to Virginia State University Trojans. Once we leave Virginia State, we head back to Maryland to Oxon Hill Park and Ride for drop off. The students are on the bus 4 days and 3 nights. So a long time, a lot of time we are on the bus. So we always ask parents, and we do this during a mandatory meeting, for parents to volunteer to bring snacks. We put a list up during a mandatory meeting. Parents click the sheet, they put down what they're gonna bring, and then they allocate what they're bringing to the bus for those 4 days, 3 nights to supply accommodations for the students that will be on the bus. There's 48 students, 4 chaperones. Every day breakfast. So breakfast is as follows. Day one is continental on the bus. One of those line items on the snack list is continental stuff. So muffins, donuts, croissants, so on and so forth. The kids are eating on the bus that day because we're leaving so early in the morning. By the time they wake up, they eat the continental breakfast on the bus. We stop for lunch. They're responsible that day for lunch on their own. We stop at a rest stop where they can separate in groups. So there might be 3 or 4 fast food places. We separate and all go together in different clusters for who want what food. That's how they separate. Day 2, 3, and 4, breakfast is included at the hotels. So they get up in the morning, they're responsible for getting up and going downstairs to eat their breakfast. So breakfast is included at all of the hotels, but they have to get up to eat breakfast. We encourage them, but we can't force them. Lunch every day during the tour. Again, on Sunday lunch, when we stop at the rest stops, they're on their own. Monday's lunch is, I'm sorry, I always say Sunday. Again, on Monday, when we stop for lunch on the rest stop, they're on their own. On Tuesday, we eat lunch at Clark Atlanta's campus together. That's included. Wednesday, we do box lunches from North Carolina A&T's campus. That's included. Thursday, we do Subway lunches. They get to choose their options for Subway ahead of time, and that's also included. Dinner is on their own all nights. So on Monday, there's a restaurant near our hotel. We send out all this information about the restaurants. We let them look at the menus ahead of time. So when they get there, they kind of have an idea of what they're ordering, what their tip, what their drinks, all of those prices. So they're prepared. So they know about the restaurants before time. Night 2 is our longest night because we're leaving Atlanta heading into North Carolina. That's our longest commute time. We stop at a Chick-fil-A. We call them ahead of time and tell them we're coming through. The kids run through the line like an assembly line. We tell them make sure they got their payment, make sure they got their order ready. Some of them are already ordering on their Chick-fil-A apps. And so they're running them. Some of them are in the apps. Some of them are in the regular line. The Chick-fil-A can handle us. And so they go through the Chick-fil-A. And then on night 3, we do Ruby Tuesdays because it's literally directly across the street from our hotel. So we walk over as a group. We tell the kids, make sure you're on on Ruby Tuesday's website. You're seeing what you already want. So we can make that a quick restaurant fellowship and then not be there all night. And so again, they get an opportunity to see what they want, what they don't want. Luggage. This is a huge thing. Please remember, we only have room for one bag. So students get to bring one luggage, like a carry-on luggage that they go on an airplane is the same carry-on luggage they can bring on the bus. Reason being is we have snacks, we have coolers, and we have 48 student luggages plus 4 chaperone luggages plus the bus driver luggage. Those underheads are not that big. And so we need to accommodate everyone being able to have that luggage. Also, students, of course, they can have their backpacks and all of that because that can go up over inside the bus. They can bring their backpacks. Hotels, we stay at different hotels each night. We give the parents during a mandatory meeting the hotel numbers, the hotel addresses. We've been staying at these hotels consecutively for years. So we keep up with the same ones so that we can try and make sure everything is legit when we go to each hotel. The students are in quads. Quads means 4. Everybody has stayed in a hotel. You know, there are only 2 beds in a hotel. So yes, the students share. We usually do not have problems unless it's the boys that don't want to not share. But we tell students nobody sleeps on the floor, period. They can sleep one under the covers, one on top of the covers, and the hotels always give extra linen for that purpose. 2 of the hotels are suites, so they have a pull-out couch. So when we get to 2 of the hotels, they now have 3 beds. And so everyone in the past, even with the boys, although they gripe about it at first, it accommodates and they work it out when we get to the hotels. We've not had any real issues with that because we can get extra linen and everything from the hotel desk. The students are allowed to intermingle in the lobby of the hotels only on the Atlanta night hotel and on the Virginia night hotel, not on the North Carolina night because we get there too late at night for them to be in the lobby. Curfew is always 11 p.m. All of the hotels are security monitored. And so we have a strict policy of students not coming out of their room. When we do that 11 o'clock room check, they should not be out of their room for any purpose. They have our cell phone numbers. If anything goes wrong in their hotel or they ran out of towels or washcloths, they are to call us. We bring it to their rooms. They are not to go out of their rooms. Again, we have in the past 15 plus years, we have only had to send students home once, but you know we do since you know we've done it before. So please talk to your students about respect, accountability, and following directions. It is for their safety so that we can make sure nothing happens to anyone on our watch. Students choose their own roommates. We do not assign roommates. So you get the opportunity to choose your own roommates. If there's someone that you do not know or you don't know anyone, we help you find a roommate during the mandatory meeting. We have students who go on our tours all the time. High energetic student, shy student, very timid students. By the time they leave that tour, they are blooming and blossoming. They have met plenty of people and they have friendships that's going to last for some of them a lifetime. Some of the kids are still communicating with each other today, being like, oh, Miss Robinson, guess who I was hanging out with? And they're still hanging out with each other. And they didn't go to the same high school. They didn't know each other before the college tour, but they made lasting friends on the college tour. We have very strict rules and regulations. You saw them on our website. If not, definitely go back and read our rules and regulations. We tolerate 0 tolerance for fighting, 0 tolerance for disrespect. We will have parents pick their children up in whatever state we are in. We will not let their child jeopardize 40-something other students or put 40-something other students in harm's way. So please make sure you talk to your students. Always tell parents, you know, if you don't have control over your students, don't send them with us. We can do without the registration. So please make sure they are on their best behavior when they go on this tour. We also have a very strict dress code. Our kids get accolades every year when we hit a college campus. Oh, your students look so well dressed. And then at first they're griping about it when they're on a meeting and they realize they got to have a dress code. But when we're on the tour, it's not one time that they don't say, Ms. Robinson, now I know what you meant. We look way better than everybody walking these campuses on this tour. And they do. They look professional. They look like they're there for their next opportunity, for doors to be open for them, because first impressions are lasting impressions and you only get one time to make an impression. And so we have a very strict dress code. Please make sure you read that on our website as well, so that you can have what they need to accommodate them for the tour. We always tell the kids, you don't need a bunch of outfits. You don't even have time to change clothes. You're in those same clothes all day. You don't have time to change. By the time you get to the hotel, you're ready to shower, get into bed. You really just don't have time to be changing. And so they don't need extra clothes. The first day they can travel in their regular clothes. Day 2, day 3, day 4, they're in their business casual for the college tours. So for the visits, the campus visits. So they don't need extra clothes. They really don't. The only extra cost that we have on this tour is we always ask every family to give $5 donation for the bus driver. And that's because that bus driver, yes, we pay. The bus is, when I tell you the bus is expensive, even this year they went up more. That bus driver driving us don't even get nearly half of that at all. And so every year we try and make sure we honor our bus driver, because that bus driver is keeping us safe and your children safe. And most of the time we're over our hours, but they keep us going and they keep us safe. So we always ask every family to give a $5 donation. And that is it, that we don't have any hidden costs on this tour. You already know up front exactly what your children need: money for their dinner, money for one day of lunch, their $5 tip donation, and you donate snacks. That's it. We have no additional cost to this tour besides those things. And that was already on the website. So the only thing that you didn't know about until tonight was the $5 donation. And help and snacks, that's even on the website. So we try and make sure everything is transparent. We don't try and keep anything a secret. We're not one of those tours that say by the time you register, now you got to pay to go to this amusement park, this place, and that place. We don't do all that. This is not a spring break vacation. This is an educational experience. And yes, the kids have fun. Let me say that, because they definitely have a blast. But we are first education, and then we allow the students to have fun. But we want them to get prepared for what's next for their future. We always require one thing from the students: research every college before you go on the tour, so that you are aware of who and what you are about to see, so that you are not just going and assuming, but you are making sure that you are accountable to the schools that you are going to witness, to the schools that you are going to be visiting. So I always tell students and parents, yes, you are signing your students up, but please don't just sign your student up and don't tell them what schools they are actually visiting. Sign them up and then make sure they know what school they're going to, and make them do the research on those schools, because that's important and that's key. All right, so that's all things agenda. This is our just showing you North Carolina Central University. Hopefully you can hear her a little bit.
I attended the tour with Student for Success when I was a senior in high school, and that trip changed everything for me. Walking these campuses, seeing the culture, and meeting real students here helped me picture what was possible. The tour is not just about visiting colleges, it's about finding where you belong, and for me, NCCU became my home. Now I get to welcome students back every year when they visit. Eagle Pride, Amplified.
So yeah, so she takes me or takes us all the students around every year. She meets us, she talks to them, so she can give them her inside experience of what it truly has been like for her at NCCU. So every time we step on a campus, either myself, students that I know, or students that Ms. Shy know, or students that David might know from some of those schools, they meet us on those campuses so that our students can get hands-in, like really get that right, the raw truth about what some of the experiences they have had, good or bad, right? Because remember, ambassadors are geared to their target conversation that they're supposed to have on the tour. but we try and get those extra insight tour guides as well from students and random students. So they give us the real deal about what's going on, what's the highlights, what's the not so good highlights. And so VSU, we just wanted to, I don't know if you guys will be able to hear, but this is what the kids get to experience when they're on the tour. It's not just that they are stomping the yard, they are giving them that complete HBCU experience. So not sure if you guys can hear, I hope so, but you can see them do the moves. If we got any fathers on, that's an Omega. And so the kids really enjoy that. That's something they look forward to when we can hit a college campus and they're sharing.
Greetings and humble salutations. My name is Antoine Sullivan, a sophomore with a major in political science. I went on the college tour back in 2022, and one of the stops that we made was right here at the illustrious Virginia State University. Over the time, I decided that I would attend Virginia State University. And here at Virginia State, I have had so many opportunities. I've been privileged to work on political campaigns. I've been privileged to attend the Congressional Black Caucus, and I've also been privileged to do so many other things and make so many wonderful connections. If you're looking for an amazing HBCU to attend, please, please consider the Virginia State University, where greater happens here.
And that was Antoine. So what's included in the tour? It's 4 days, it's 3 nights. You get access to the tour, the luxury motor coach bus that we talked about, the hotel accommodations. It's, remember, in rooms of quads. They get breakfast included day 2, day 3, day 4. They get lunch included day 2, day 3, day 4. Trying to make sure my screen isn't covering stuff. Oops. Now, the bonuses that you saw on the website, they had it by day. So every day there was a bonus being taken away. So we had day 1, you got all of the bonuses, 30-minute Q&A group call where you can ask any college admissions questions. You have access to my brain. And remember, I said $25 million in scholarships and grants, thousands of students off to amazing colleges and universities. You get the opportunity to be on that call for 30 minutes asking questions. It's a group call. You also get a signed copy of my book, Winning the Game of College Admissions. Look, I was trying to find one next to me. Yes, you get a copy of my book, Winning the Game of College Admissions, where Amazon ranks #1 for helping high school families navigate the college admissions process. Bonus number 3, you get a mini series that I recorded on the moves. I actually outlined the book in a video. Bonus number 4, you get our college admissions ebook bundle where we outline college visits, FAFSA, scholarships, college research, all things helping you with the college admissions process. You also get our college admissions checklist, but each one of these were disappearing each day. But for all the parents who jumped on tonight's Zoom for the launch party, if you register, you'll still go ahead and get all 5 of your bonuses. Now, if you register tomorrow, you will only get whatever bonus is still left for tomorrow, which are these last 2 copies. So the signed copy of the book, the 30-minute Q&A group call. But if you register tonight, you'll get them all. Now, here was the difference between the registration. If you grab your bonuses and register and pay in full, you got an additional bonus of your family and me personally on Zoom for 30 minutes. It's your college success strategy call, where I give you your roadmap for what you need to do. Where you are, whether you're a 9th grade family, 10th grade family, or 11th grade family, I'm going to give you your roadmap of what you need to do to take you and your student into success of the college admissions process as you move forward. That was an extra bonus we added in for any family that pays in full. The next thing is, if you only made the payment plan, then you don't get that bonus if you do the payment plan. You get everything else. Again, if you register tonight, you get all of those. If you register tomorrow, then you'll still get the 30-minute group call and then the signed copy of the book. So this is just breaking down everything about each one of those bonuses. So again, you get to join me for a 30-minute call where I'll answer all of your college admissions questions. You'll get my book that Amazon ranks #1. It is the personal playbook to success in the college process. I promise you. If you don't have me, my book is the next best thing to get you through the process. You also get those videos, audios. They're audios actually and videos, so you actually see me teaching on those areas. You get the college admissions ebooks. And so there are 5 ebooks that you're going to get. You get the one that's covering essays, research, scholarships, and more. So you want to grab hold of those bonuses. And then you get the grade level checklist. Freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. So if your student is a sophomore, you'll know what they need to do for the rest of this year, plus junior year, plus senior year. If freshman, vice versa. If junior, you know for this year and next year. You get all of those. The pay in full process, if you wanted to pay in full and get all of the bonuses plus the extra bonus, it was $775. If you wanted to do the payment plan, it was $266.67 for the payment plan. Now, after Friday, these prices are no longer available. It becomes the 2026 prices. These were us holding on and giving you last year's prices. And so we're doing that before our pre-Black Friday sale. And so it's up until Friday, and then Friday at 11:59, all bonuses go away and the prices go up. So that's what we'll do. And that's if we still have seats on Friday. There's no guarantee. We can't guarantee because I don't want to say that. And then parents say, well, no, you said it'll still be till Friday. No, that's if we have seats. These prices still stay until Friday. And then on Saturday, by the time you click the website, they won't be there anymore. It will be at the different price. So we will hit North Carolina A&T as well. I don't know if we have any Aggie prides here on the lines, if we have any Aggie lands, but here's
Hello,
our
everybody. My
student
name is
Adriana.
Adams, and I'm a sophomore at North Carolina A&T State University. I went to Ms. Robinson's college tour my sophomore year of high school, and that's when we visited A&T. The college tour was very, very fun. It was very informative. I got to find out about a lot of schools, specifically A&T, which is the reason why I chose to go there. But it was very nice. She fed us. We had comfortable living situations, and the bus ride was very comfortable. When we got to the colleges, we got very good tours by other students that some of them were like already with Ms. Robinson, like she knew some of the students, and some of the students were just like tour guides, but it was very informative. The first time I went to A&T was actually with Ms. Robinson, and look at me now, here I am. But I love A&T. We have so many opportunities at our school. Like the shirt that I have on right now, we have like a wellness day. So like once a semester, they have like a day where we don't have class and they do a bunch of activities for us. So I was able to get a shirt, which is the one I have on right now. The theme this year was Aggie Road Trip. So it was like a whole bunch of stuff that we just like visited. But overall, I love A&T. It's a very good school. I'm on the pre-nursing track. So my classes they can be hard at times, but there are so many resources at A&T that can help you through your hard classes. And yeah, and also this is like a view inside of one of the student apartments. You can't really see, but you can live here. I think your sophomore year. I think some freshmen are able to get into the apartments, but it's not 100% guaranteed. And usually it's mostly sophomores and up that live in the apartments. But yes, I just wanted to give you guys insight on my view on Ms. Robinson's college tour and my time at A&T. Thank you.
And so Adriana will always stop by when we're on A&T's campus and talk to the students. So if there's nursing students, any students in the medical or biology or any of those sciences areas, she's there to be able to support them, help them, and share with them about what they are. Sorry, because I forgot the music doesn't play. But she's able to support them and answer any questions that they have, which gives them that opportunity. When Adriana got to A&T, I remember her saying, oh my God, Ms. Robinson, she keeps in touch. And she's like, oh, it's going to be hard. She wind up finishing her first year, all A's. And it's not easy. If you've been in any sciences field or any of those STEM programs, you know it is not easy, especially at the college level, to go and to maintain all A's your freshman year And so this year she says, Ms. Robinson, girl, I'm on track. I'm almost probably going to get all A's again this first semester. So I'm always proud of the students when they're doing very well to keep up. So again, if you have not had the opportunity to already register, here's the link and here's the code where you can scan, and then we'll drop the link to the website in the chat as well, where you'll get the opportunity to click on there if you need to. But I'm going to give you an opportunity to come off mute, ask any questions that you might have, drop the questions in the chat. If you have questions and you want to drop them in the chat, drop the questions in the chat, and I will answer any questions that come through the chat. But if you don't have questions that you want to put in the chat, come off mute and you can just ask your questions, any questions that you have. So I'm going to start checking. How can parents attend? So we don't allow parents to attend the tour unless we have empty seats at the end and we haven't filled the bus. But in 15 years, we've never had that. So our obligation is to making sure the kids get seats. And when we start filling it with a bunch of parents, then our kids can't get on. And our kids are the ones going to college. So when your kids are going to college, you can't go with them. So we need to break them out now and let them blossom without us. And then I always tell parents, what you do is when they get back, and they get to senior year and they're rising to senior year, and they're ready, that's when you start saying to them, which ones were like your top choice? Let's go back and visit those top 3 together as a family, or those top 2 together as a family for those schools' open houses. That's when the parents go, but this is so that students get an opportunity and a glimpse into what college life is like and what it's going to be like on their own without their parents. Are they really ready? Is this something they can handle? And a lot of the students come back telling their parents they are different than they were when they went. So if they were shy, they no longer shy. If they were timid, they no longer timid. If they weren't interested in college, now they're coming back talking about, I want to go to college, or I'm interested in this college. Or if they were like, I didn't know if I wanted to go to HBCU, then they're coming back telling their parents, well, all I want to do is go to HBCUs. I'm like, wait a minute now. Make sure your list is diverse. But each kid has their preference. So we do, unfortunately, our priority is the students having seats first. If we have additional seats at the end, then we allow the parents to go. And the reason we don't, it just causes so many other variables, because then no parent wants to share a room. So then we have to go back to the hotels to see if they have additional rooms. And then it costs, and then it still costs for the parent to attend. So it just becomes a lot more variables for us to have to handle. So that's some of the reasons also why we try and make sure it's for students first. Will there be a GroupMe app or other means of communication while the kids are traveling to keep parents informed on locations and etc.? So no. So we have our Instagram page. We put everything on Instagram and Facebook. So we travel the whole time, and the kids are. So we have the students. Some of the students who go love social media. They become our social media team. So they are posting, they are updating. And then if there are parents who want to know extreme, then most of them either got their kids' locations on, or their kids are texting them when we're on the bus saying we're going from this school to that school. But the parents have the itinerary, so they know what schools and what campuses we're on at the times that we're on. So we do it on Instagram and on Facebook, but we do not do an actual GroupMe, because our focus is on the kids, and it's 40 something of them to us, and we have to make sure we're worried about them first. And so having a chat thing is just a lot, because then you have other parents who want to chat and ask questions in those chats, but we need to be focused on keeping our eyes on the students so they're not wandering off or thinking that they're with a different group. Not that they're wandering off. There's over 40 groups on every campus when we're there, or sometimes more. So we got to be able to have our kids know who we are and how to keep up with us. And so having extra variables just don't work. Other questions, feel free to come off mute, or you can keep popping them in the chat as well. But don't hesitate to pop off mute or drop them in the chat. Not sure what slide I have. Oh, okay. Any questions? So we got parents. So we have, let me see. How do I look at this thing? Okay, so we have 14 parents on. Technically, we have It's myself, Shy, David. So technically we have 10 parents on. Out of those 10 parents you got on, if you already registered your child, put a number 3 in the chat. If you already registered and you were on because you're like, I'm gonna be on the first launch party. If you're on and you're in those 10 parents and you haven't registered your child yet because you were waiting to get on the meeting, put a number 4. So 3 if you've already registered, 4 if you have not yet registered. And then if you're still not registered yet and you're on the fence, put a 5. And then we'll try and help you to figure out why you're on the fence and if we can get you off the fence. And if not, this just might not be the tour for you. But we want to make sure we answer any questions. So we want to make sure parents don't wait because we did last year, we did our first information session. We usually always have 2 information sessions, one when we first open, and then we span out and wait for like another month and a half and do a second one. We did our first information session last time. By the time we got to our second one, we were sold out. We didn't have an information session because we didn't have any seats to information session about. So we only did an information session with the parents who were already registered, who didn't get to get on the first launch party. And so please, parents, if you're on and you're on the fence, take advantage now while we have the sale promotion, because after Friday, the tour price goes up. And then there's no guarantee we will have seats, because if that school calls me back and say they want those 15 seats, we're now down to only 15 seats. And there's 10 of you on here tonight. So if you're interested, make sure you register, get the sale price, the pre-Black Friday price, plus all the bonuses. The bonuses alone equal up to the sale price. So you're getting that plus your ticket. So you're getting the ticket plus resources for your child to get to college. A lot of times parents send their students on the tour and they get back and they have no idea what to do with them. Our goal is to make sure you have every resource to support your students, not just to send them on the bus, but to make sure they have the resources to follow through when they come off the bus. Because college admissions is not like it was when you went to college 20 years ago. Nothing like that. And it's getting ready to change even more. So please make sure. If you pay for any reason, you have to cancel. Is the fees refundable? So the tour is non-refundable. You can transfer your ticket to someone else. So meaning you can hold your seat for, if someone gets on our waiting list in the end and for some reason you have an emergency and you can't go, and we have someone on the waiting list, we can pull that person from the waiting list so you can get your refund. That's how we do. That's only how we do refunds. Or if you have a family member or someone else you know and you want to swap your seat over for them, they can get your seat that way. Other questions? Any other questions? And if so, again, please, you can come off and mute. This is our time to answer any questions that you may have. We are excited. Again, this is we stopped counting when COVID hit. So we were already approaching year 15 when COVID hit. So we think we're at year 17 now. We keep on trying to go back and figure it out with the whole COVID fiasco. That kind of threw us off. So that's the thing with the COVID thing that kind of threw us off in counting our years. So we're definitely over 15 years. We just don't know if we're at 17, 18. We're trying to figure all that out. But we love taking the kids, myself, Miss Shayimthia. Shay, you can come up and say, hey. And then I'll let David come off too.
Hi, hello parents. My name is Shyanthia Hembry. I've been with Regina since the beginning. This has been an awesome time for us to get to know the students, to ask questions as they go, because, you know, we've experienced college ourselves, so we have Q&A on the bus as we go. We get to encourage them to ask questions as they're going across campus. Because, you know, sometimes the kids are a little shy about that, but whenever we go, we have an awesome time with them. Definitely, if you are on the fence, I would definitely take the opportunity to ask any questions that I have so that I could secure my seat. One, your student is going to definitely match up with someone that they, you know, may not know, but at the end they'll have a new friend. That's always a good thing. And then they actually get a chance to experience, get to see what college life is like. Because when we go on the tour, school is in session. The kids are there. You know, they can ask the questions as for the tour guides as they go along, as well as students that they pull aside, you know, while even in the cafeteria. So they have so many different resources, and it's a great look for them to see it in real time. Oh, and we always get like a good step show.
Yes.
Miss
We sure
Miss
do.
Miss Miss Robinson loves to pull the different fraternities and sororities aside and say, "Hey, can you give us a, you know, a presentation?" They love to do it, and so the kids are always excited about, especially if they are interested in Greek life, they get to see that. A few times we've even been able to tip into the dorms if they allow that, depending upon the day. But the kids will kind of give them a rundown as to how their dorm is set up and everything. So it's just an amazing time that of exposure that they normally don't get to do. So I've been chaperoning since the beginning. And so this is always a good time for us. We get our steps in, you know, the
Yes.
kids are always excited, and we always look good. I cannot express that enough. These kids are always dressed to the nines, and we always get compliments when we're on campus. They know the difference between our group and other groups, because our groups are professional. I won't say they're dressed professionally, but they definitely are dressed in a different manner than the others, because they don't have on jeans and tennis shoes. And sometimes the other groups are very much, you know, different from ours, but they come away with a sense of pride. They understand what is required for them, especially if they're in their junior year. They know, okay, I have to tighten it up. You know, I have to make sure I get these things together. And if you have a 8th or 9th grader, this is a good time for them too, because they get a way advanced look into what college life is like. And so they get to have more time to make more decisions. So I just encourage you to, you know, ask what you need to ask so that your student will be on that bus.
Absolutely. So yes, if you guys would drop in the chat what grade your student is in, 9th, 10th, 11th, even if you have a 12th grader, because 12th graders need a chance to kind of lay eyes on some of their final choices. They don't know yet. There might be still debating. So if you have a 9th, 10th, or 11th grader, drop in the chat what grade level your student is in. And David, did you want to say anything? David is also here with us tonight as well.
Yeah, I would just like to say, as my 3rd year being a chaperone, I'm excited. You know, coming up in the past year, it's been great. Every stop we go to, we meet great people. We have great um, tour guides. We
Yeah.
had a good hookup at Clark last year.
Yes.
But I heard that you got ahead of it this year, so we were all set. We're set for Clark, and it's really a really good opportunity. Like, we're one big family for 4 days, 3 nights. So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Thank you. And we always love to have David with us. We are the students become family. And I can't express that enough. These students build relationships that they're going to have that last them. For some of them, last a lifetime. And so they get that opportunity to make connections, to network, to check in on things. A lot of times we have here's the good thing about some of our seniors. So some of our seniors will go with us on the tour. And myself or Shy will break off with them if we already know ahead of time. So we'll go to Clark Atlanta's admissions office because maybe they haven't heard from them yet. So we're going in there and we're finding out what's holding it up. I'll take them inside admissions when they're at North Carolina Central. We've had some of our students. In fact, the one student that you saw on the video for the testimony of Samira, when you saw her do her testimonial, we literally, during the tour, went to Central's admissions office. She was waiting for something and hadn't heard. And we were able to clear up, get her mom to call the school. What happened was something didn't come from her school. So I coordinated with the Central admissions office. We called her mom. I wish she had said that in the video. We called her mom on the phone. Mom called the school. We got all on a 3-way. We got that document to Central. And before we left Central, we walked Central's campus. Before we left and came back, she had already knew she was accepted to Central. And look at where she is today. thriving at Central. And so it's all about opening doors. It's about showing up. It's about being in the right space at the right time. But opportunity don't come for you. You have to go out and get opportunity. And so she opened up her mouth. She wasn't a student who, because closed mouths never get fed. She opened up her mouth and was like, Ms. Robinson, I applied to this school, but I didn't hear from them. We made it happen. We figured it out while we were there. Same thing when we go to Clark Atlanta, they tell the students, you missing this. You didn't go in your portal that we sent you an email about, which is why we haven't given you an acceptance. So we need you to do this. They sit there with them and tell them to do it while they're in the lobby. So we go to these different schools. We check in. Last year, we had a student for A&T. She had gotten accepted, but for the spring semester. She wanted to know what that meant. So we went to admissions. They talked to her like, look, coming in a spring semester isn't a bad thing. Go to the community college, take 2 or 3 or 4 classes, and then meet us here in January. You now spent less money than most freshmen we have here on campus. So they were able to give her something to think about, and for her parents. So again, her mom was just like, oh my God, Ms. Robinson, thank you, right? Because she hesitated about sending her because she was already a senior, but she knew that A&T was on her list and one of her top choices, and she didn't really understand the whole January acceptance thing. And so then her being there was an opportunity for her to get clarity and for her to figure out where ultimately she wanted to go, whether she was going to wait to January or in fact go directly into another 4-year school who didn't ask her to wait until January. So there are opportunities. Ms. Thomas said, my son is a 12th grader. He's already received several college acceptances. Great. Congratulations to him, class of 2026. And so, yeah, so him being able to go, if he has any of those 7 for him, because we don't count Spelman. If he has any of those 7 schools on his list and he want to get one last up close and personal look before he makes that final decision for National Signing Day on May 1st, the college tour would be that perfect opportunity for him to lay eyes before he has to say, okay, this or that, right? And then I highly encourage him. He's going to be with me. If he goes, he'll be with me and Ms. Shai for 4 days, 3 nights. He better be asking a bunch of questions. We always leave our seat open, and we tell the students, we're not going to come sit in your seat. You're going to come and sit in our seat if you have questions. You're going to sit with us at lunchtime if you have questions. You're going to come down at breakfast when we eat in breakfast and sit at the table with us when we eat in breakfast. You're going to spend time with us because that's what we give that open door policy to the students. Myself, David, Chai, all of us, because we all are either they're in college or graduated from college, or me and Ms. Shai been doing this forever. We tell the kids, if you're an 11th grader or a 10th grader and your PSAT scores are bad, you should be sitting with Ms. Shai on that bus, or you should be eating lunch with her. Is there any tips or strategies that you could help me with, right? So she can tell you. And if you're saying, okay, well, I don't know if I want an HBCU or a diverse or a PWI, or I don't know if I want Ivy or regular, what's considered Ivy or what's not considered Ivy? How do you get into an Ivy school? You understand, Ms. Robinson, how do you go to Georgetown for under $500 and get your master's degree? They need to come sit with me. I'm not going to sit with them, but we're there as a trusted expert and guidance for your students. I tell parents and students all the time, every single year, you paying $775 this year for your year. You're paying $775. Parents pay for my program over $6,000. Your kid get to be with me for $775 for 4 days and 3 nights. You do the math. I can't do it for you. You do the math, right? Ms. Shai test prep programs are over $500. You do the math. $775 is a no-brainer. The cost shouldn't even be a second choice guess because we give you a payment plan option, but the time that they get and the return on investment that they could achieve if they take advantage of it is totally up to him. Mom said, thank you. That's the goal. Oh, he is going. Laugh out loud. Well, we accept him, Ms. Thomas. We look forward to meeting him. And the good thing is, guess what? We use some of the seniors when they're on the bus because we get them to tell some of those juniors and sophomores how it really feels because they in the trenches of it. And we get them to be able to tell them the real reality of whether they slacked off, waited to the last minute, didn't come through, didn't follow through. We let them share their testimonies as well, so that they can be an encouragement to those coming behind them, because they might not have had the tools to be ahead of the game because no one was before them telling them. So now they become a trusted, they get to help some students not have to experience failures that they experience because now they can share. And that's what being a community for those 4 days and 3 nights is all about. So I rewind back. Suited for Success, the Beyond the Yard tour, it's not just a tour, it's a movement of making sure students like us have the tools, have the legacy, have the culture, have the foundation to go to college debt free, or to go to college with little to no debt because everybody else is doing it. So why not make sure they're doing it as well? So again, if you're on the fence, if you have any other questions, come off mute, drop your questions if you have questions. Our ultimate goal is to make sure you have everything you need before you jump off. So there's no question about whether you deserve to have your seat on the bus, because we have a seat for you. You just have to want that seat to be for your child so that your child has this opportunity. A lot of times families will say, oh, well, I'll just wait and send them next year. Next year is never guaranteed. The process could totally change for next year for your students. And so we want to make sure they have what they need now to start already preparing them for next. What is a typical day like upon arrival in terms of guidance throughout the campus? So when we arrive so remember there's the campuses for that day. So let's just run Atlanta's day. We'll arrive to the Yard. Remember camp, if you've ever been down in that CAU cluster, or that CU cluster, they call it, you have Clark, Spelman, and Morehouse all attached together. Their kids walk the campus and intertwine together. We arrive on the Yard that morning. We go to whichever school is that morning, whether it's Clark or whether it's the split of Spelman and Morehouse. And then they split and they go to their schools. We all meet at lunchtime once we split up, no matter what. If we go to Spelman and Morehouse in the morning, we split when we get off the bus. We meet back up for lunch. Then we go to Clark, Atlanta. So it's either or we go to Clark, Atlanta. Then we split up. The guys go one way, the girls go another way, and then we come back together, and then we get back on the bus. So that's what a typical day is like for that Yard. When we travel and we're at the North Carolina Yards, we go to A&T and we're all together. Then we go to Central and we're all together. Same thing when we get to, the only time we're never together is when we're at the CAU, because Spelman and Morehouse don't mix. When we go to Virginia State, we're at Norfolk all together. We leave there. We go to Hampton. We're at Hampton all together. We leave Hampton. We go to VSU. We at VSU all together. Now, sometimes when we get to some of the campuses, they divide us, but it just depends on the campus and it just depends on their flow. A lot of times if they got like 20, 30 tours, that we're all together, and they have blowhorns. So they're talking on those megaphones or blowhorns, whatever they're called. And the kids can hear. But that's kind of how the days go. And then we're traveling from one state to the next that same day so that we can be ready the next morning to get up and walk the schools in that particular state. What is a typical day? Oh, I got that one. Mr. Shield said, my daughter will be attending. My son and nephew attended in 2023 and enjoyed it. We're coming from Philly. Yes, yep. So here's the craziest thing is one year we had half of our bus was from Los Angeles, California. And then the other half of our bus was from the DMV. Then we had kids from Philly. Then we had students from Atlanta. So we had 2 kids travel from Atlanta, come all the way here. I said, now y'all know we coming there first, right? The kids didn't care. They wanted their parents to bring them all the way here so they can get the whole experience. Hey, I ain't mad at them. So the parents brought them here. They got on the bus. We went down there. They came all the way back up here and the parent was here. So the parents was like, well, we just made it a vacation. We stayed up there, waited for y'all to come back while y'all was down there actually. So we do get kids from other states. So please don't be deterred if you're on from another state, like Mr. Shields and them are from, their family was from Philly. Not sure, Mr. Shields, you live here in the DMV though. But if you're from another state, it's okay. As long as you get your kids here for the bus, we take care of them the entire time. So we live in New York City. Yes, Ms. Dixon. So you get them here and we take care of them. We make sure they're in good hands. Oh, Mr. Shields is in Philly too. So we got NYC, we got Philly. So yes. And here's what I always tell them. If they don't want to travel alone and they want to know someone, get some other friends from their high school or their neighborhood or their family friends in the area and bring them with them as well. And y'all transport them down. We had the whole commuting parents before one year where one parent brought them here. The other parent came to pick them up when we got back because they lived out of town. So all of those things work. It's up to you as long as you can get them here for the bus. They'll be well taken care of when you drop them off to the bus. Last year, we had 3 kids from from California again. I said, I don't know how the West Coast people be finding out, but I'm all for it. We had 3 kids from the West Coast last year. We had a couple of kids from Philly last year. I don't know how Philly be getting the buzz either, but we're all for it. And so we are well known, you see the students come back with testimonials. The parents rave about it. You can see it on our website. We run a tight ship. That's all I can say. That's the only way I can express it and explain it. I'm a former high school teacher. I'm a former college professor. So although the kids have fun, they know Ms. Robinson, that we're here for educational experience. I'm here for what's your next level. My goal is always, again, so that they know what the experience is going to be, so that they know how to network, how to take advantage of opportunities. That's what we're there to teach them. We are from Cali, been searching high and low for the right program. Well, Ms. Gross, you got us now. If you need to talk to other families from California, we can connect you to our California family from last year. They were like, Ms. Robinson, if you get any California families that's on the fence, they can call us. We're going to let them know, listen, jump on that plane and get to Ms. Robinson's tour. So if you need to talk to our California parent, we can give you the dad and mom's number. They will be well more than give you testimonial, and we don't pay them for it. That is their thoughts, their opinion. The dads traveled here with them, but they had family here. So dad flew in with the sons and the other one, and then they kind of coordinated that way. And so I don't even think they knew each other ahead of time. And then they started coordinating when they realized they were all coming from similar areas in California. Is the tour more focused on seeing the campus and experience college life? Do they speak with recruiters or academic advisors? So they do not speak with, when you say recruiters, I think you mean for sports. If you mean for sports, say that so I know for sure. And when you say academic advisors, no, they will, sometimes the admissions people will come out, but they don't do since COVID, the colleges have not started back doing the sessions. So before COVID, they did the sessions, but they are still trying to stay proactive and keep safe, because putting hundreds of people in one room brings for unhealthy, germs, safetiness, but still all these variants running around. So they don't do the spills anymore with the academic advisors. They have worked since COVID to really train the ambassadors to ask questions. And most of the time, once you give your information at the schools, they have you in their database. And so they start to send you out more information too, so you'll know who recruiters are for your area and your location. Not sports, more so admissions. Yes. So hopefully that answered your questions, Mr. Williams, about the admissions part. So due to COVID, they have not started doing the information admissions parts of it anymore. I don't know if I think schools, just like our high schools, kind of have come accustomed to now doing Zoom parent meetings and class meetings. I think the colleges have come accustomed now to saying, they can walk the campuses, but we're not necessarily doing the admissions parts. They save those though when they do what they call senior visit day, meaning the kids have been accepted and they can come for acceptance day, right? It's less magnitude of students. And then we do have some schools though that are really good. Like a lot of times when we go to NCCU, if the admissions person is there, he's a guy. And I have made contact, and if he's there when we walk in, he will address our group. He does every year if he's there in the office. He'll come into the hallway, address the group, talk to them, share with them. And so you have different schools where sometimes they get lucky. We've been on campuses when the president was walking around, and the president will stop and address the groups. And so you just never know. Again, I say it's always the opportunities that are afforded to us. Not that it's necessarily because we're special. We're there at the time and we just happen to be in the right place. As David was saying, last year we were having trouble getting our visit to Clark Atlanta University. We started making phone calls. We got a Clark Atlanta University alumni. She took us, we had all the big people coming to meet our group like we were VIP. People were looking at our group like, who are they? I was like, yeah, check it. We VIP, check it. And so we had that opportunity while we visited Clark Atlanta last year. So we get those special perks. And it's all about, for me, it's making those relationships. And I tell the students, here's the deal. The people you're connected to is a currency for you. So my currency is your currency. And so because you've had the opportunity, I've built relationships of being on these campuses for over 15 years. Students will go with me and say, Miss Robinson, how you know this person or how you know that person? Because I built relationships. I literally was on the campus of Coppin State yesterday in the president's office, sitting with the president of the campus, of the college, walking around with the president. It's relationships. I tell students, my currency is your currency. I've gotten students in the Coppin like, okay, here's my list. Put it to your admissions person and let's see what's going to happen. What kind of scholarships you got up here for students? So it's about making those relationships and connecting to the right people. And we do that here, and we try and make sure we offer that. So any other questions? Hopefully we did not miss any. I think I grabbed all of the questions, but any other questions? Again, remember, grab your spot before midnight tonight, and we'll make sure you get all the bonuses. If you pay in full, you get the extra 30-minute private call with myself. If you don't pay in full and you do the payment plan, you still get the 30-minute group call with myself and Ms. Hembry. So I'm talking college admissions, answering questions. She's answering test prep questions. And so you'll get dates of when that's going to be, so that and if you don't make it, it'll be recorded. So you can go back and watch other people's questions and see the answers to those questions. So you'll still get all of those bonuses if you register by the end of tonight. If not, then you still get the book signed and the 30-minute group call. So you still get that because that was the last one to be left on the list. So you still get that one. I told my assistant, oh my God, we ordered these in the wrong order. But that's okay. And so you still get that, but you have until midnight tonight to grab your spot and still get those. After tomorrow, again, it's whatever is left for Thursday and Fridays. If you wait till Friday, it's whatever is left for Friday. And so take advantage of that. Please don't wait till Friday night and then Saturday morning call and say, Ms. Robinson, I missed it. Can you give me, I'm going to say, no, I can't, because that's not fair to everybody else. And so please take advantage while we're on the pre-Black Friday sale. It is not coming back. This is the sale. This is a one-time sale. We opened it up this way so that you can take advantage, because we know with everything going on, my goal was, how can I make this still conducive for every family to be able to send their kid without having to sacrifice or without having to maybe say no. And so that's why we did the pre-Black Friday sale. That's why we left it at last year's price. No hotel is at last year's price. The bus company is not at last year's price. The lunches are not at last year's price. The breakfast that the hotel are adding in are not at last year's price. So we're taking the grunt of that for your students, for your family, because we know what's going on in the world right now. But that does not mean, I believe now more than ever, our kids need education. If they never needed it before, they need it now with everything going on in the way our world is turning. And so we want to make sure they all have that opportunity. So any final questions?
I have a comment.
Yes, go ahead, Shai.
I just wanted the parents to know, because there was a question about experiencing campus life and seeing the campus. One great thing, well, several great things that happened during the tour is when we go to Clark Atlanta on our first day, the kids get to sit in the cafeteria with the students there on campus. So they get to talk to them. They get to see what the food is like on campus, because sometimes, you know, you don't get to see what the cafeteria food is like, the environment, the hustle and bustle, all of that. At Morehouse, the students usually will start inside, and the before they split the groups up, they'll ask the students what majors they go into, what you know, GPAs they have and different things, so that they can kind of guide their decisions in terms of which tour guide to give them. And so that was really nice. Last year, the tour guides were, I think we had science students who wanted, you know, people who wanted to go into STEM and communication. So they paired them up with STEM and communications majors who happened to be there to do the tour. During our tour at Norfolk State, we had students from all different types of clubs on campus. So they got to talk to them personally about what that's like, what campus life is like, whether it's the Mensa Club or like I said, fraternities and sororities and different things. They got to ask those questions. So as they're walking across campus, they get a feel for the campus itself, but they also get to ask those questions they get to communicate with the students on campus. So that's something, you know, very unique about our process. So I just wanted to let you all know that not every school will have that opportunity to speak with, you know, the admissions team, but a lot of times I know several different schools do. They still have some of their ambassadors are from different, I want to say, different majors or different clubs, and they let the students know that. So I usually will see like a little cluster or group of students who are interested in that particular major. You get to talk to that person. So it's a really cool experience. Something, you know, you don't really get anywhere else, you know, because you know, even if you attend an alumni event here at DC, for students, you know, who may have gone to Clark, it's not the same if you're not on campus. So I just wanted to kind of let you all know that. So, and yes, I meant to say that too. I am the founder of Butterfly Works test prep and tutoring services. So your students will also get the opportunity to ask questions of me while I'm on the bus, while I'm on campus, different things. Even during the time when we get back to the hotel, we have sessions in the evening where they get to play games depending on upon our arrival time. So the kids get access to both Miss Regina and myself. So it's a great experience. So I hope to see your students there. And I'd like to say congratulations to those who are sending their kids early, the 9th, the 10th, 11th, 12th graders.
Yeah,
It's gonna be an awesome time for them because they get to mix in and see what the experience is like. So nothing beats exposure.
absolutely. And this is their first opportunity. I remind you guys of what I said earlier. My girlfriend came to school with a flyer. Some of you got the flyer from your schools. Actually, if you'll drop in the chat how you found out, was it on our social media? Are you on our email list? Did a friend of a friend tell you? Did your high school tell you? Tell us in the chat how you found out about it. And so literally my girlfriend brought a flyer to school, said we should all go on this college tour, and we went. And that changed everything for me. Everything. And so again, you could also be that same where you got it the way you got it. Someone said social media, internet searches. I Googled HBCU tours. Yeah, at least we know we Googleable. Okay. Internet searches, and then social media. I'm assuming either me and Miss Thomas follow each other, or she follows someone else that knows us on social media, and maybe they shared it. And so that's how she was maybe able to find out. So that's the power of, and so here's what we ask of each family that's on. If you're on and you know you're going, please share with another family so that they can hear about it too. Because if you're searching, then you know someone else that you know is searching too. So if you're deciding to send your kid, tell other people about it. And then let's make sure everyone gets an opportunity for their child to be able to attend as well. So we thank you guys. And oh, any final questions? I dropped in the chat the link to where you could register for the tour. It's in the chat at suitedforsuccess.org beyond the yard. Just in case you didn't see it, it's here in the chat. Also, if you're not connected with us on social media, connect with us on Facebook and Instagram. We're S for S College Bound. And we appreciate you. We thank you for showing up. We look forward to each and every one of your families attending with us. Don't wait. Don't hold the clock down to Friday at 11:59. Grab your seat tonight so that you can get all your bonuses and benefit on having the resources you need for getting your students to where you need to be. Share with other families. Ms. Hembry has her social media handle as well. She shares test prep tips. We both share scholarship information in our social medias from other people, college fairs. In fact, if you're in the DMV area, Saturday, Alfred Street Baptist Church in Virginia is having a huge college fair. So if you're here in the DMV area, you want to go on their website and register, Alfred Street Baptist Church. So if you're in this area, you want to take advantage of going to visit there as well. And then if not, then, Miss Jennifer says she registered. Yay. So Miss Jennifer gets all the bonuses. She gets that 30 minutes. So guess what, Miss Thomas? When we open up the calendar for you guys to take advantage of your 30 minutes, take your 30 minutes to use it to ask questions about what you and your son need to do to make sure when you're on the other side, now that you've submitted everything, got your FAFSA, all of those things, you make sure you pose your questions together so you can ask during your 30-minute time so you can have the game plan of what's next now that he's on the other side of it for your 30 minutes, okay? So that's a plug for you to be able to take advantage. That's if you paid in full and you have that private 30 minutes with me, you want to utilize that for that timing. If not, and you're going to be on the group call, you can write down your questions and come with your questions. Because listen, sometimes closed mouths are closed mouths. And so if you're the only one with questions, I would ask all my questions if nobody else asks any questions. So I tell parents all the time, don't get on and be afraid to take up all the time. I would take up all the time if nobody else has questions. You could have questions. I only wish the music was playing, but it's not. But I had the jamming song. I was going to close us out with, if you've ever heard that song, lace up your boots, put on your backpack. It's time to ride. Because we're going to be riding on the bus, y'all. We got the kids, they're going to lace up their boots every day. That's what this on. This the boots. They're going to put on their backpack. They're going to put their armor on their questions. And we ride now. They're not HBCUs, getting a culture, getting a legacy, getting the experience. So we look forward to your kids joining us. We look forward to meeting each and every one of you. Until we meet again, continue being amazing on purpose. Thank you. And we look forward to celebrating and exploring beyond the yard with each and every one of your families, your students. And remember, share on your social media. Connect with us on our social media. And we'll see you on the bus. Bye-bye.